So, update on the lap blankets. So, I've started weaving and just kind of working out some patterns. Little threads here where I did my ply splits. Done a little inset with some different colored yarn. I use a temple, and I kind of figure out what width I want, and I know I'm going to have some drawing, so I made this actually a little bit shorter than the width in the reed. And a lot of people don't like to use a temple. I personally find it helpful. I suppose it's just all what you get used to. Okay, so right now I'm making columns, and so that needs 2 different colors of yarn. And I'm going to do another quick video on shuttles, but the boat shuttle that I'm using here is 15 inches long, and it's big enough that I can wind this thicker yarn. And I got this yarn from R&M Yarn. They have like factory, what do I say, short ends. So this was a 4-ply rug yarn. It's not a very strong yarn. It's not suitable for warp, for sure, but I got a good price on it. And also, one other thing I just wanted to note, I want this to be a blanket, so I'm not really packing this in. If I wanted this to be a rug, I'd want it to be really, really firm, but as a blanket, I want it to drape a little bit. I don't want it to be really stiff like a rug. And so, for this particular pattern, make sure I got the right shed. So you alternate your 2 colors to get the columns. And I'm going to suggest 2 books that I found really, really helpful for this kind of weaving. One's on weaving Navajo rugs, and the other one's on real grand style weaving, which is just basically Navajo weaving on a 2-shaft floor loom. You always want to make sure that your threads catch. And I forgot, I actually was going to use a floating selvage on this, and I forgot to do it. So on the next rug, I've got this warp for 2 rugs, I hope, or 2 blankets, I hope. So because this is weft-faced, you need to make sure you have plenty of weft so it doesn't draw in and it packs in. But I'm just pressing it into place. I'm not beating it. And I made a couple of mistakes as I went through here. Let's see. Keep doing the wrong thing. I want to make sure that I wrap around the other colored thread. I may go in there later and throw a couple of stitches. So this is your shuttle race, and your shuttle is supposed to go along that. And with this really wide set warp, this long shuttle works really well. I didn't know if I was going to be able to use this shuttle if the yarn would be so thick that I couldn't wind it around here. But I get a fair amount of yarn on there. I didn't want to have to just throw a couple of rows and then have to fill the shuttle again. And this is a ski shuttle, which I also use with my rags. And you can use a regular rag shuttle with this. But I love the way this just kind of glides across. And the Union loom has such a huge shed. You know, you can have a really big shuttle. So I don't really have a specific plan here. So let's say I decide I'm going to change my pattern now. I've done some columns. keep reminding myself not to beat hard. Okay, so I'm going to go back through. I was alternating every other pick a different color. And now I'm going to do 2 picks of one color and then 2 picks of another color, which is going to make wavy lines. I like my boat shuttle so much that I just ordered a new one yesterday, so I can have 2 of these. Did I? Whoops, I didn't catch. So there you see. That's the only bad thing about changing your number of picks and changing colors, is you always have to, and I forgot to change sheds. Oh, actually, I forgot to change sheds for this one too, so you get to see me go back. Now, of course, I could put 2 picks in the same shed, and I often do that, like on my towels and stuff, to add some textural difference, but in this case, it wasn't my plan. Okay. Now it's right. See, I can't talk and weave at the same time. I don't know if anyone else has that problem. I kind of messed up here. I want to make sure I go around that blue thread. Okay, that's better. I'll do some more explanation about how you get the different patterns. So to that. There's just some basic combinations, and if you learn the basic combination, just the number of picks, then you can create all kinds of different patterns and combine those. And if I had remembered to put the floating selvage in here, all I'd have to do is just pick up that floating selvage each time, instead of having to think each time about how I'm catching that outside thread. So anyway, it's a beautiful day here, and after I get done doing some video work, I'm going to go out and clean manure out of my horse stalls, because the weather's supposed to get bad again tomorrow. We had a lot of snow, and the snow is just starting to melt. Oops. I'll catch that again. So I think that's about enough for now. Oh, I'll say just one more thing about my shuttle. And I use a electric drill with a chopstick in it to wind my bobbins. Now you can buy bobbins, but I just use straws. Paper straws preferably, but if you have a bunch of plastic ones around like I do. On this particular shuttle, you can see how it works. I have little beads that will fit on the spindle, and I found that they help the straw to turn more easily if I put a little bead in there. If I didn't have it, the straw would kind of slide to the end and bind, and that's not the case with all of my shuttles, but on that one that's the case. Okay, that's all for now.